is going on, everybody? Welcome back, Calendar from Droid Life. So, special treat tonight, Gingerbread on the Droid X. Android 2.3.3. Also got it on the Droid 2. We will get into that later. What we're focused on right now is our favorite, the Droid X. Let's go ahead and boot it up so you guys can see if there's anything new going on. And sure enough, there is. There's the brand new Motorola logo, the Moto Mobility red circle around the white M. So that's changed. So no longer that just pure white M that used to bug the heck out of everybody. Got the new logo. So let's see if the boot animations change. I do not believe it has. But anyway, big shout out to the guys at My Droid World, P3 and the homies. They just continue to leak all this great stuff. So if they weren't leaking out this stuff, you know what would we do? So big shout out to them. Huge thanks. Gingerbread 2.3.3 Droid X, newest version Android you can get. And it's the new blur that we saw on the Droid Bionic. And Droid 2 over here making noise. Well, there's the droid noise. Classic droid noise going on. So, there is your standard blur lock screen. So nothing's really changed there. Verizon, date, time, all that stuff. Let's go ahead and unlock and see what we got. So here you go. This is the new blur, which we've seen on the Bionic back at CES. So this is really the first time anyone's really handled it in a lot of detail since then. And as you can see, first up is the whole new notification bar. It's blue. I don't know if you guys can totally see that or not. It's definitely blue. It looks a lot better than that old white stock ugly version used to. One of the cool things they've done too is when you get a notification now, you can actually clear out each one by one. So you can see I got a DLNA notification, and I can just hit the minus button and that goes away. So if I had emails, new downloads of apps, stuff like that, they would each be listed with that red dash. So you can just minus those and get away from them, or you can just clear all of them. But so that's a new notification area, and a lot of people are going to be liking this new blue bar instead of that, again, that ugly stock sort of gray looking one. Okay. From there, there's not a ton of new blur stuff. They've tweaked it a little bit, and it looks more to me like it's all back-end performance stuff. I mean, there's some new, like obviously you can see the new launcher and dock down here has changed. Notifications changed. Some colors have changed. But really what you'll notice is performance. As you can see when I'm whipping through home screens, see how fast that is? And it's not like we got a processor upgrade or anything. This is still 1 gigahertz OMAP single core. But you remember there used to be lag in between blur home screens. When you were flicking through, there would kind of be that jittery lag. And you can see there's no more jitter. This thing just flies right through. Okay, so that's pretty impressive. So you can see they've really sped stuff up. Okay, notification bar just snaps down, up and down. Okay, from here, let's go ahead and go into, and actually I guess I should point out widgets. They haven't gotten any new widgets from what I can tell. It's all the same stock sort of blur widgets. Okay, but notification bar, so this has changed. Okay, if we go ahead and say we're on a home screen, we just hit the home button now. Pops up and we get those card style previews. You've seen those, from HTC and things like that. So then you can pop around to, whatever screen you want. But you can also get there by flicking up on any of these dock items. So I don't know if you saw that real quick. If I just flick up on any of these, it gets me right into those cards too. So you could be, way over here in your far screen, flick up on that, and bam, you're all the way over in that far one. Okay, so that's pretty cool. You can also change these dock items. Okay, so if I long press on one, it gives me a list of other things I want to add. So let's say I want to add contacts. So now I got my dialer, Gmail, contacts. And you can change all these. You just quick long press, lets you choose a new app. So that's pretty sweet. I do not believe you can do it to your launcher, and no, you can't. So you can't move your launcher around or anything like that. So 3 customizable dock options, launcher button over here on the right. We'll see how people feel about that as they play with it more and more. Personally, I like it on the right. Some people like it in the center, so whatever. We'll see how that goes. So anyway, let's jump into the app drawer then, because it actually is different. So you can see this is where we get into that stuff that we saw in the Bionic. So if we go up here, that's actually a market icon. So you can actually tap that and get right into your market. And Wi-Fi is slow tonight. Okay, so there, see, it takes you right into your market, which obviously hasn't changed. It's the same market we've had for a long time. Okay, the other cool thing you'll notice up here is this sort of arrow, all apps thing. If we go ahead and hit that, it gives us some options. So we got all apps, recently downloaded or recently used apps, and it also has recently downloaded apps. Okay, so we can also do new group, and basically what that means, if we go ahead and add a group, see if we can get that to pop up. Or did I just minimize that? New group. There we go. So group name, let's just say Droid Life. And then you can see, you can hit save. I think we hit this down. Oh yeah, let's just change the icon of it. So we could put it as a star for Droid Life being awesome. Kidding. Go ahead and hit save up here. And then from there, let's just choose what we want to do. So if we go ahead and hit plus over here, you can just add a whole bunch of different apps. You can add your favorite apps and then hit OK. And now they're in there. And if we go ahead and hit that star icon up there, you can see we have the Droid Life group of apps. So we can go back to all apps, or we can go back to Droid Life. Okay, so that's pretty sweet. Other than that, in the app drawer, you're not going to see anything really different. You know, there's still bloatware in there. There's Madden, and there's Need for Speed, and there's, you know, Verizon VCast stuff. So that all stuff. They did throw in books though, so that comes stock now. There's your Kindle hotspot. You do have your new downloads button, which is I believe a Gingerbread thing, not necessarily a blur thing. So there's your app drawer. Okay, so that hasn't really changed. Let's go ahead and go into okay, so we're back home screen. Let's go ahead and menu. This is where some stuff's changed. Okay, so wallpaper is no big deal, but profiles. So we've seen profiles on like the Droid Pro. I believe the Droid 2 Global has them. So now have profiles you can mess with. We can also go into manage apps, and this is a pretty cool shortcut. I'm glad they added. If you choose that, it takes you into settings, applications, and lets you, you know, uninstall apps, look at what you've got running, all of that stuff. So you can kill off apps, things like that. So that's a nice little shortcut they've added. You can also do more and then get to your notification bar, although that seems like a long way to get there. You can do more and do search. Again, seems sort of like a long way to get there when you have a search button right there. But anyway, they've added that. And then of course you can get into settings. Okay, so settings, you can see it's no longer a black settings menu. And let's just scroll down and get rid of the, or do the dirty work here, or the exciting part, or whatever you want to call it. There it is, Android 2.3.3, Droid X, and yeah, there we go. So it's definitely official. Well, this isn't official, it's unofficially leaked, but this is about as polished as I think you're going to find it. From there though, you're not going to see a lot of different stuff going on in here. We can go into battery and data manager, see if they've changed anything. It's in data saver mode, data delivery, battery mode, usage, so we can see what's going on. So a lot of the stuff, like I said, hasn't changed a ton, but they did change the look, and like I said, they did a bunch of back-end stuff to really make this thing fly. I mean, I just got a Thunderbolt, but to have Gingerbread on a Droid X and to see it flying around like this, that's pretty impressive. It's not rooted, so there's no root access right now, and we're not sure if that's ever going to happen. So you will be stuck with this look and all this stuff. No screenshot apps, none of that stuff. But yeah, it looks really nice. One other thing I did want to show you though is the camera. Camera software has changed a little bit. So you can see, you know, you still got your effects and stuff over here. You got your zoom buttons down here now. I do not believe this has changed all that much. Let's go ahead and take a picture. I don't believe that the software has changed enough to make the pictures any better, but you see that little animation there? Let me show you that again. You take a picture, watch this animation. See that it shoots down into there. And we can go into our gallery app, which I do believe has changed quite a bit. So if we go ahead and tap on it, you can see we got some different options now. It says we took it on May 27th. You have this down arrow, and that's where you can delete it, set it as, get picture info. You see this up arrow, that gives you sort of a quick upload if you've set up a quick upload account. And then of course there's your share button. Okay, so they've done sort of an overhaul there, which I'm definitely excited about. Everybody else should be. The camera app was pretty bad before. And that also makes me want to go into the gallery then, because I do believe that's changed. Let's see if they changed it. Not a lot. It still looks basically the same. So let's go ahead and get out of there. So that's changed. Other than that, you're not going to see a lot of differences. Like I said, most of these apps are all the same. Well, here we go. The new car app. So that looks different. They've just changed the look of it. It still functions probably exactly the same, but they did change the look of it. Let's see what else we got going on here. The new dialer. I'm sure you guys wanted to see this. So the new dialer looks pretty hot. You can see, just type in a bunch of 5s, which is my fake number. We're doing videos, so you can see that's going on in there. Recent calls, contacts, favorites, all that stuff's in there. So none of that's really changed, but it did change the overall look of it. Let's go ahead and go back. Don't have an email client set up. There's your FM radio, music app. A lot of this stuff's just sort of skinned. You can see it's that whole blue look. So you can see I was testing it out earlier playing Wiz Khalifa. Okay, so you can see the whole looks changed, but it's still basically your same music app. And let's see what else we got. Just looking for things that would have possibly changed. There's Skype, still the same old Skype. G-Talk, none of that stuff's going to change. Text messaging, you can see it's really just got that new sort of skin on it. So Blur's really taken on more of a skinned look. So who knows if people are going to like that or not, but it's definitely a little bit different. Like I said, what I'm noticing really is performance going on here. Here's the browser. The browser I do not believe changed. Oh, and there's the keyboard. Let's go ahead and go to Droid Life. So you can see the browser, not a lot of changes going on there. Let's go ahead and pop that keyboard up though. And let's go ahead and change the input method. Let's go ahead and see if swipes change. It'd be nice if they skinned swipe. Nope, still that same white-gray swipe we've seen before. So that hasn't changed. The other keyboard hasn't changed. But you can see they've done little things like your progress or your spinner up there, your action spinner, that thing's changed. So, yeah, there's Droid Life. There's the post on getting Gingerbread right there. And just one last look in the app drawer to see if we're forgetting anything. We can look at the alarm and timer. Nothing going on there. Let's see if we can look at the clock. Oh, we have to dock it in order to see the clock. So anyway, that's pretty much all the new stuff we got going on. I did run some benchmarks. That video should be uploaded on YouTube already, so you can check out how fast this has made this device. Other than that, though, that's pretty much it. Like I said, not a lot of stuff's changed, just a little bit of the look of stuff. But again, this thing feels so much faster than the previous version. So we're going to also, like I said, do a walk through the Droid 2 to see if anything's different there. The build numbers are just a little bit different. But that's pretty much it. So Droid X 2.3.3, new Moto Blur. It's almost like a whole new phone, I'm not going to lie. I was hating Blur on 2.2. It's actually not that bad on 2.3. So another thing you'll see in here is a new sleep mode. It doesn't have a restart like the Thunderbolt has, which is sort of disappointing, but it does have sleep. We also don't get that cool animation when you lock your phone like you do on, like, say, the Nexus S, where it does that sort of thing. Not getting that. But other than that, a lot of changes for the better going on here. So anyway, check us out at the blog. We'll have the rest. We're Droid Life. We're out. Peace.